So welcome to my weekly look back at politics from a very non-Westminster bubble perspective. Today I couldn't get more non-Westminster if I tried, because I'm going to talk about Yorkshire. Hey up! The reason I'm going to talk about that is because there was a debate in the House of Commons about the fact that effectively Yorkshire has been unable to agree a devolution deal. So we have devolution in Manchester, we have it in Liverpool, we have it in the West Midlands, we have it further up in the North East. But Yorkshire or any of the four areas within Yorkshire, the four counties, have not effectively been able to agree a devolution deal. Does this matter to anyone outside London? Well, Yorkshire is massive, okay? We have the same population, give or take 100,000 people, as Scotland, which is really important. The Leeds City region, which is just one of the city regions in Yorkshire, is the largest city region outside the capital. Our economy is bigger than 9 European countries. It's bigger than Ireland. It's bigger than Denmark, for example. So yeah, Yorkshire is actually really important to the whole country. In fact, Leeds has the biggest financial and legal centre outside of London, and we also are home to the infrastructure that runs the broadband and internet for pretty much the whole of the north of England, so and Scotland. So it is very strategically important. And yet we don't have deals that say that we can make our own decisions about transport. We don't have a deal that means that housing decisions are made in this level. All our decisions are still down in Westminster. I won't go into the fact that South Yorkshire did previously agree a deal, but that seems to have fallen the wayside, and various deals have been agreed. But effectively, from where I sit, what's gone on here is that politicians just keep arguing with each other, and they cannot sort themselves out to come to an arrangement. Initially, I think it was Labour politicians were basically arguing with each other, cities jockeying for power, who was going to be the most important city, you know, Leeds versus Bradford, Sheffield versus Leeds. And there was people like us, the rest of us, were just kind of caught in the middle of this. It's now also become quite party political, because some of it's about the Conservative councils in North Yorkshire and other areas, and arguments there, and arguments between the Conservative and Labour, and basically none of them have come out of this with glory. It's got to the point now actually where John Sentamu, who is the Archbishop of York, has been asked to step in and try and mediate to try and sort something out. I mean, that is how ridiculous this has got. I mean, I think really the thing that you can just say looking from the outside is neither political party of the two main parties come out of this looking very good. And it just, I think, feels to an awful lot of people that the politicians have basically just let the people down, because the politicians are arguing about roles, about how mayors may or may not be decided and whether there should or shouldn't be mayors. About structure, and meanwhile people who want to have serious discussion about how do we make housing better, how do we sort out transport. I mean, in Leeds, the local paper today is saying the city is in crisis with its transport because of air pollution. So politicians just have not grasped the nettle, and I think there's a big feeling that politicians, in their squabbles between parties and within parties, have basically let people down. We'll wait to see whether John Sentamu can come in and sort something out, but it really isn't very good. I think if there's one message, though, politicians need to hear, and need to hear strongly, from the other calls for independence elsewhere and from the Brexit referendum results, is that people in Yorkshire do want to have a bit more say over the things that affect their lives, and they want to feel like their voices are heard. And I think the politicians up in Yorkshire, as well as the politicians in Westminster, need to bear that in mind a little bit more.